Welcome to the Pajama Saturday Podcast. This is a weekly show where we speak to business owners who know that the best ideas happen when you're comfortable. My name is Marilen Crump, and I am here to provide business strategy, sales confidence, marketing clarity, mindset, all of the things that we can cover from business planning, lead generation, to even overcoming imposter syndrome. It's all going to be filled with tips and hopefully something will ring in your mind that you can use for your advantage. And so grab your coffee, get comfortable. Let's turn those big ideas into a profitable reality. So, just a little bit about me. I have been in business since the year 2000, and the way we're recording this today is 2026. And so, 26 years in business, I'm very happy and excited to be able to share pretty much all the things that I've discovered that may help you out. My story is that I am pretty much one of those people that have never had a real boss, meaning I started my business in college in my dorm room. And part of my journey is that I didn't want to work for someone else. I didn't want to be in that position of showing up without passion. I've observed that in other people. I observed it with my parents and just all the hardships that they had to deal with in keeping the types of careers they had. And I just never felt aligned with that kind of path. And so I decided I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to do what it takes to create income and new possibilities in my life that may be different, may be scary, but I was willing to do it. So it's good to be a little stubborn. So here we are, fast forward. I've done so many cool things because of the freedom to be able to reinvent and also innovate with the times. Part of what I started in business was photography and HTML coding back when the internet was fresh and new. And 26 years later, I am using AI and I am building other types of processes in such great ways. And photography is still there, and even web design is still there, but it has definitely changed throughout the years. When I started photography, it was in film photography. And of course, now we're in digital and, of course, using AI to even heighten that experience as well. Part of the journey has included helping other businesses grow. In 2010, I started an apprenticeship program for photographers where I even taught people how to start their photography business. I had owned a brick and mortar, and we had a gallery, we had different courses, retreats, also wellness classes, anything that was there for personal development. It was a really cool way to provide lots of different options for people who were looking to explore just the type of growth that they were hoping for. And I think we really made an impact. We had to shut down in the year 2020 because of pandemic, and that timing was just fine because my twins, I have 5 kids. My youngest are twins. They are nonverbal autistic. So in 2020, we also got that diagnosis, and the timing just felt appropriate to creating a new level of change. I found myself teaching online. That's when everybody learned about how cool Zoom was. And so we even have a series right now that's alongside this podcast called Pajama Saturdays Online Workshop Series. So you can definitely learn and deep dive with me in a 90-minute Zoom twice a month. So if you're interested in that, there are links to the show notes. In the show notes, there'll be links to that opportunity. And you can also find me on marilencrump.com, and there'll be more information there. So it's not just me talking to you right now. It is me using my experience and just where business has taken me in the past 26 years. So I can see you in person, go over some great things. I've made workbooks that's going to be very helpful as you kind of traverse through the entrepreneurial landscape, small business, what have you. These things are meant to help you. And so, just to give you some encouragement, it is really cool to be able to come up with a vision and then monetize that vision. And I have so many great ideas that I've been able to implement for myself, but then give that back to clients that I serve. There are clients that I work in a capacity of even being their fractional COO, their operations officer. There are clients that I help more in depth with their actual marketing. And then I have clients who are just one offs. They're trying to get something launched. And so I'm there from the concept to the launch. We have had different retreats too that bring together like minded people. And I would love to set up some interviews on this podcast with some of them so that you can learn from their knowledge and their experience. And of course, you can meet them on the Zoom calls. So I think this is going to be neat because one, I get to drop some great gems for those who just are in the mode of just listening. But then for those who say, hey, I think I want to dive a little deeper, then we do have our get togethers. And they're very reasonably priced so that everybody can access it. I don't care if you've been in business for 10 years or 3 months. Most of these workshops is going to be helpful to anybody because we try to be on the cutting edge with the information that's being presented. So, what can I share with you today? I think part of it is going to be your mentality. So, this is pajama online workshop, right? Meaning you don't have to get fancy. You can make time for yourself. We're holding it on a Saturday morning. Some people I meet are parents who during the week are just handling too much crazy activities. They're handling their children. They're trying to get back and forth from their work, their job, other responsibilities. Saturday mornings seem to be a time where you can indulge a little bit. Maybe people are sleeping in. Maybe your spouse or partner is home to help you with the kids so you can take a moment, learn something, and then be able to kind of think through it during the weekend so that you can implement it in the upcoming week. A lot of things, too, that I'm really bringing to the table is how can we move more efficiently with the use of technology and AI. There will be a lot of tips, prompt skills as well. So every workshop will have that entailed. So if you see something like what we have coming up, marketing plan, your one-page marketing plan, that is going to be such a brilliant tool for you to feed right into your AI of choice. That is going to save you so much time, but give you a lot of clarity when you're trying to market yourself online. And most of the hurdles I have heard of and definitely experienced myself is lack of consistency. Maybe because you get so busy or you're serving other people. For me, it's because I spend a lot of time serving my clients and I don't always get the time to work on my stuff, my business, etc. So part of my new momentum this year is being able to juggle more of that, but do it in a way where the juggling isn't so heavy, that the juggling is actually lighter than it has ever been. And that is so exciting. So if you're not looking into these new tools because you have some kind of reservation about it, or you don't feel like it's going to be authentic, etc. I've heard it all. But let me tell you, when you can earn more time for yourself, you are then able to spend that time with your family. And that's really the goal. And if you're not able to, let's say, make it to a workshop, most of these workshops are on Zoom, which enables us to record it. Because then, if you want to access the replay, it's right there. So there is no excuse for you to not get the support that you need. A lot of times people want to learn, but they just cannot find a good place or time to be able to do that. And hopefully these series are going to solve that problem. So I'm pretty excited for it, especially like you heard me already say, I have 5 kids. The 2 older ones are doing their adult life now. I can't even imagine. I mean, I can't even believe that I have older kids now. They're not too much older, but they're old enough to be on their own, and so that's a pretty big change. But because of our lifestyle, having our autistic twins, we are looking at our future differently. And some of you all are trying to figure out what's the legacy you're leaving. How can you build these business ideas or brand ideas or just even bring in more income to your household? How can you do it in a sustainable way? One of the things that I'm going to go ahead and tell you is that I have a really easy to learn, but also utilize affiliate program. And you may have heard of affiliates before. There's all these different types of affiliate programs out there. For my programs, it's going to be strictly on referrals. So if you refer people to these classes and you're already signed up and you have your own special code to be able to give that to the right person who will take advantage of it, then instantaneously you get a really great kickback. And currently, right now, and we may go ahead and keep this as it is, but I am doing 60% of the referral. So, meaning you keep 60% of the event price, registration price, whatever it is, program price. 60% is yours. I keep 40%. To me, it's more than fair because then I am helping another entrepreneur. I'm building someone else's possibilities, and that's really a great thing that I could do to give back. I might as well just give it straight back to somebody who's supporting me. So in turn, we're supporting each other. I love win-win-win scenarios. So I win because I get to meet the people you know and you trust. You win because then you're getting a really great return for being able to spread the word for me. And then the person who's taking advantage of the class, we're giving such great information so that they are benefiting and they're figuring things out for their business and ways to really develop new possibilities in their life. We talked about mindset. I know a lot of times people have the knowledge, but they get in their own way. There are times where if I'm working in a very close capacity with a business, things are going okay, but it could definitely be better. And what I've seen is that someone in the organization is messing things up because they're not trusting the process or they don't have a process. And the reason why they don't do either of those things is because their mindset is a little askew. There's a lot of times where people have control issues, so they want to handle everything, which then creates very messy types of situations. Other people can't do their role effectively because someone's always like sticking their hand into it. Or you have the disorganized, very aloof type of owner that has no clue about like putting things in the right order. So they have these weird expectations, put weird pressure on their team that is not effective, that it's definitely causing a lot of internal strife. There's things that people don't want to do just because of the way they're feeling in their environment. Now, some of you may not have a team. It's definitely more of a either financial issue for you because you're trying to cut corners or you're trying to get the easy job, but then it's not setting you up for the bigger, more lucrative projects. And then sometimes it's just a matter of motivation. You're not feeling it because there's a lot of other things weighing on you. Maybe you don't have moral support in your household or other people are telling you so many different things and you got to figure out ways to block that out. So in meeting some of the people that's participating in these workshops, or maybe there's a way I can help you with new realizations that if I can just shed the best light on the truth of the scenario without judging anything what's going on, I love to be able to provide that aha moment in a not heavy way. Like I'm not here to push you down at all. I'm not here to judge you on the things that have happened in your life, technically, who cares? Because today is a different moment. Tomorrow is a different day. You can make new decisions. You can choose new outcomes. You can choose to learn in your pajamas. How cool is that? There's nothing holding you back. Not what you wear, not what you look like. There's just progress moving forward. I don't know if any of you make vision boards, but it's so nice to be able to like stare at it. So right now, as I'm recording this, I'm looking at my wall. I have 4 new vision boards. And why 4? Well, I'm sometimes addicted to decoupage and gluing things. And so it's just fun for me. But I find so many cool things that are really speaking to me right now. And as I'm looking at it, it's a reflection of the choices I want to make. When you do any kind of goal setting, vision board, etc., it's so good to be able to have a visual representation of the direction you want to go into. That then keeps you in the lane that you're supposed to be on and stop wandering around choosing something that you're not really wanting in your life. A lot of it is process of elimination. You have to eliminate the things that are getting you stuck. If you are messing around too much with things that you don't even want, it is not the smartest way to do it. If you have reminders that, hey, this is what I'm going for, you can then ask the question, is this on my vision board, or is this even something I want to be doing, or do I just feel obligated, or because someone's pressuring me to say yes? Cut it out, right? You can say, I feel that it's not the right time for me. You can be nice about it. You can tell people, let's explore that later. Right now, I'm working on something very important, yourself, and I want to make better stride on this thing. And even turn it around. And if you're not the kind of person to ask for help or invite people, maybe that's something you need to work on. Maybe you can ask them, say, by the way, do you mind me showing you what I would like to be doing? And maybe there's somebody you can connect me with. You might as well ask if they're asking you, right? Maybe you meet in the middle. Maybe there's something that you can collaborate on that fits your goals and fits their goals. Again, find that win-win. If you have a notebook, if you want to start writing some notes down about what we're talking about here, and then be able to ask it at the live workshops, I am totally cool with that. We have, you can find me on social media. I try to post a lot of positive things. If you look at my personal feed, especially on Facebook, that's where I live a lot of times. You'll get a feel for just the things I want to give others. I want to give others confidence. I want to give people enlightenment, positivity. I share a lot of food photos. One, I feel like food is artsy, and I used to do food photography, and that keeps my interest up on that. But then you'll also notice that I'm very involved in community. I serve on the board for the York County Chamber of Commerce, where I run an incubator program. Also serving on the board for the Youth Volunteer Corps of Hampton Roads, where young people, school-aged kids, are volunteering their time to help the community. And I just love that. In my past, I had been a volunteer in my middle school and high school years, and it really benefited me a lot because it gave me a different outlook. I was able to engage with adults. Anytime we put ourselves in a different environment that's positive, I always feel like we can grow from that. So are you networking? Are you doing things that is putting you in different spaces? Who do you serve in the community? How are you involved? Some people I know are just wonderfully serving their community through church. They're engaged in other types of community focus, charitable things. It's just amazing. There's so many ways that you can get involved in a positive way and really feel like you're making a difference in your community. Now, let's just talk a little bit about things that you want to think about through this time that we have together is that we want to look at the performance versus always the results. The results are fine, but sometimes people think that, hey, I've done it once, I should have a better result than what I'm getting. I don't believe that that's the best way to look at it. I love the word refined. I teach a program that's called Refined Strategic Blueprint because it's about building your business plan where especially the first few iterations of any action, activity, product, service that you're doing is not going to be perfect. You're going to have to refine the process. If you're an impatient person, it's going to screw with your mind because you're going to give yourself like undue pressure. You're going to feel rejected and you're not going to be motivated to actually do the right thing. Whereas if you're looking at the process and how you can improve the process every time, the results are a side effect of the best type of activity that you could be doing. Results just don't come because you want them. Results come because you've worked on them, because you've polished your steps, because you've knocked out some of the things that are inefficient and you've only chosen the things that are really beneficial and has a better return on investment. Some of you are too scared to try, but then some of you all just try once and then think, that's it, I should be a success. Sorry, but that's not how it works. And if you put that much pressure on yourself, you're probably going to get burnt out or just want to start something else new. So some people are into starting new projects all the time because there's no history of either negative results or failure, etc. But those who are finding success is because they've messed up and fixed their mess ups. They have learned really great lessons that keep them so much sharper than their competition. And outlasting people is such a great position to be in. And I heard this really great segment from The Psychology of Money. They were talking about Warren Buffett and how really the way he has built his wealth is not because he's the smartest guy ever. It's because he started early and he learned a lot of things before other people started. So he's been investing for so many more years than the average person. And because of compound interest and the compound knowledge, he is just better set up. And people don't talk about that. They think, hey, I'm going to read a book about Warren Buffett. I'm going to do what he does. And then there I go. I'm going to be a success. What people don't realize is that he had more time to really settle into that success. Are you giving yourself and your business enough time to really rectify and course correct so that you can be more successful? Maybe part of your issue is that you just haven't done it enough. Maybe you just haven't learned all the great things that will be to your advantage. It's also great to have a mentor, someone who's been there forever, to then ask certain questions and then you don't have to make the same mistakes. I have I've looked at myself in the past as somewhat like a Sherpa. And if you don't know what a Sherpa is, it's one of those mountain guides. So let's say you want to climb Mount Everest. Well, it's probably better for you if you got a guide, someone who's experienced on the mountain to tell you, don't step that way, you'll fall into a deep crevice, right? Or walk this way for an easier path. That's what you want, is you want a guide and someone who can help you come up the mountain. And that's really where I find myself these days, is that I want to be in that position to help other people, get people up the mountain alive, and then get them back to a different place when they are done with that journey. It is going to be a cool thing to see you succeed because you are doing it in the smartest way possible. We don't want you to be unhappy. We don't want you to burn out. We don't want you to lose faith. All of the things that become harder if you're doing things by yourself or you're in a bubble or you're not surrounding yourself with people who actually want to see you do great. Another thing that I love saying to people is that you have to fail amongst people who love you. People are people. Sometimes they might be happy that you're failing, and I don't want to be around those kinds of people. I want to be around people who are always positive, encouraging. They have great things to say. If they don't, they are quiet about it because, I have enough going on in my own head. Why do I need somebody else to give me and feed me any negative things? Not that I can't face it. I'm fine with that. I can look at it, but I can be very objective. I don't have to take things personally. I just want to carry what I feel would then bring me more joy, and always try to act on your highest excitement. If you're not excited about a certain thing, try to figure out why is that? Is there something that's holding you back in the joy department that could definitely be improved? And so that's what I hope for. We're going to talk about systems. We're going to talk about how having systems is going to reduce certain stress levels, but then thinking of your income too before you think about your ego. So, income is something, again, due to doing things correctly and more efficiently, is a side effect in a great way for all of these new processes. Not feeding your ego. And what I mean ego is that, oh gosh, I don't have control over this, or someone's telling me what to do, or you have an ego about like um, doing something smaller when you think you should be doing something big. Keep your ego in check, because that's who you're really wrestling with, not the outside world. It's what you think about in your mind when you're trying to go to sleep, the thoughts that are running around in your head while you're in your pajamas. So, most of that, hopefully, with other types of influence in your life, maybe you can read certain books, be a part of other groups, and really develop a stronger sense of purpose. That may be a really good key for you to unlock. And so let's talk about the last few things today is take an assessment, audit yourself, look at your environment, write things down. What would you change about it? What don't you like about it? What do you love about the things that you're doing? Where do you actually do your best work? Is it at home? Do you need to go to an office? What are some lifestyle changes you can make to support your new goals? Be a little selfish. Some of you are so kind that you're willing to give everything to someone else, but not to yourself. And if you're that kind of person, I invite you to think about putting your own oxygen mask on before you help others. You've heard this plenty of times. They talk about it on airplanes, and you've read about this. Help yourself into becoming somebody more impactful and more confident, so that you can rub off on the people in your world. And in the things and how you present yourself to people, how you talk about yourself, how you even show up. Sometimes we're afraid to show up because we don't believe in ourselves. And this day and age, you have to be out there. You have to, in different ways, of course, present like why people should trust you or do business with you. And I hope that that will keep you moving in a clear way, because clarity is going to be such a good tool for you. So every so often, just go back and think, what am I doing? Do I love what I'm doing? I love the word ikigai, by the way, Ikigai. It's a word that means purpose, and or just finding your purpose. It's a Japanese philosophy. There's probably a whole lot more to it, but you just ask yourself 4 questions. What do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? And how can you get paid for it? When those 4 things align, it's actually a smoother process. And it helps me a lot when I just want to sit down and say, okay, what do I love right now? What does the world need? What should I charge if the world is willing to pay for it? And, am I good at it? those are great things to take assessment. Then I know whether or not I'm ready for that possibility. So I hope this helped you out. I can't wait to see some of you who are saying yes to the opportunity of working with me on Zoom 2 Saturdays a month. Definitely check out the schedule. Go to marilencrump.com, MarilenCrump.com, and participate. Sign up. Let us know. Become an affiliate. There's just many ways to have fun. And so until next time, I will see you all in your pajamas. This is Marilen Crump signing off. Bye for now.